we are so glad you're with us for Sunday school. Now, I heard that on Monday, everyone is going back to school. I'm not sure how you feel about that. How do you feel, Cadence?
I feel so pumped, and I'm a little nervous.
That happens. Yep. Sometimes we're a little bit nervous. So you might be really excited or a bit nervous, but remember, God is always with you. And today we will learn another part of the armor of God. And it's a reminder that God's with us and he gives us tools and helps us in everyday situation. So what should we do?
Welcome to Sunday school and have a great day.
Welcome to Sunday school.
What does it mean to have faith? Well, we see, as we've been studying about the armor of God, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 16, it says, "In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." So, our shield of faith is going to help us to extinguish the flames, that these attacks that are coming from the enemy. But why do I need a shield? I mean, I'm already putting on the armor of God. I've got on a helmet, and I've got on a breastplate, and I've got on shoes and a belt, and I've got all these things. What do I need the shield for? I'm already wearing armor. A shield helps to provide an extra layer of protection for any weak spots that might be in my armor. Let me think about some superheroes for a second. Thor has a big hammer. Iron Man has a really cool suit. And Captain America has a shield. Now, I wonder why Captain America would need a shield, because if you know anything about superheroes, Captain America is already a pretty strong guy. He can take care of himself. Why would he need a shield? I want you to try something with me. Are you ready? I want you to imagine that you are going to ball up a piece of paper and let's make it yellow or red or orange. That way it'll be just like fire. And I want you to throw some of these fiery flames at me and see how I can protect myself, because I think I'm pretty strong. Let's see, all right? Are you ready? And go! Okay. Okay. All right. Let's try it again, but this time, let's try it with a shield. All right, let's try that again. This time, I'm going to use Captain America's shield to help protect me. And let's see if it's any better. Ready? Go! That was way better! Oh, I actually felt far less scared using the shield because I just held it in front of me and nothing hit me. A couple got past, but that shield was an extra layer of protection for me. So that was really cool. Good job, guys. Now, the Bible is full of stories. Excuse me. The Bible is full of stories of accounts of God's faithfulness and people having great faith. Think of people like Noah, who had to build a giant boat before it had even rained. Think about people like David, who had to fight a giant. Think about people like Peter, who walked on water. There's so many stories and accounts of people and their great faith. You know, when we have challenging times, we only need a little bit of faith. And as we develop our relationship with Jesus, our faith grows too. When we grab our shields of faith and run into battle, knowing that God will protect us and defend us against sin and Satan, we can feel confident. Now, battles. Wait a second. Are you actually going into a battle? Maybe not with actual flames or swords or something kind of scary like that. But every day we face situations that are kind of scary. Maybe someone's being mean to you at school, or maybe our plans are constantly changing. Are we going to school? Are we not going to school? Are we going to have to wear a mask? Are we not going to have to wear a mask? What's going to happen? I don't know. Maybe you feel scared or anxious over something. Maybe it's going to sleep, maybe it's a storm, maybe it's just everyday life has got you stressed out. Maybe you have a hard time being patient. These are all battles that we face every day. There's situations that are really difficult for us to handle on our own. We don't have a whole lot of control in these situations. But the armor that we're putting on helps us. And we can use our shield of faith as that extra layer of protection. We grow this faith by not only telling ourselves the stories from the Bible of these people who have relied on God and we've seen his faithfulness where he's helped people, but we can actually talk to people who live right now and hear their stories. Talk to your parents and your grandparents, maybe a friend. Ask them their story of faith. When has God been faithful to them? When has God provided or protected when they needed it? Maybe you have a story. Maybe you have a time where you prayed for God's protection or you prayed for God to give you peace, and he did. These are the stories that grow our faith. Tell these stories over and over again. Tell your story. Tell other people's stories. As you do, you build up your faith and you get to use your shield of faith in a strong and powerful way. We can encourage ourselves. Each time we trust God, we see his faithfulness. We are better prepared to use our shield of faith. When doubts, fears, and attacks come, we're ready to stand our ground in Christ. Our faith will add that extra layer of protection to our armor.
Hey boys and girls, it is Miss Shalana, and that means that I am back to do another very cool experiment with you. So we're going to look through some supplies that we're going to need today. And remember, like always with these experiments, we need to make sure that we have a parent or a guardian who's going to help us work through it, especially with today's, because today we're actually going to be dealing with a little bit of fire, which makes things fun, but we have to make sure we do it safely. So for today's experiment, we are going to need a few specific things. We are going to need a plate. We're going to need some tea bags, matches or a lighter, and some scissors. So what we are going to be doing today, we are going to be making our very own tea bag rocket. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take our tea bag, and we are actually going to cut our tea bag. So if I kind of open up the top of it here, I'm gonna be careful, get that string out. It's gonna make a little bit of a mess, but making a mess is always a little bit fun, I think. So we're gonna kind of cut the top of our tea bag off, and then I'm gonna dump the tea out because we don't actually need this tea. So let's dump our tea over there. We can get rid of that later. Okay, so I've cut the bottom part of it off. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to the top. We're gonna kind of make this tube. Okay, and now again, I can make sure that all the tea is out of it. Careful so that I don't rip it because they're very fragile. Okay, I have all of the tea out of my bag. I'm gonna kind of try to make it a cylinder that I'm gonna stand up on my plate. Just like that. Okay, so take your tea bag. We're gonna cut the top and the bottom off of it. We're gonna empty our tea out just to the side. We don't need that. And now I have my empty tea bag standing up. And this is the exciting part. So I'm going to get my parent or guardian to get a match or a lighter. And what we're going to do is we are going to light just the top of our tea bag on fire. And then it's going to start to burn down, and then it's going to take off like a rocket. So I'm ready to light it on fire. Let's see what happens. It's burning. As soon as it gets close to the plate, it's gonna take, hey! It's flying. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Woo! And right onto the floor. You know what? I have one more tea bag. I think we should do that one more time. So we're going to do those exact same steps again.
Take our tea bag. We're going to empty it out. I cut the top and bottom off of my tea bag. I carefully open it, get rid of all that tea. Okay, so now I have my empty tea bag cylinder that I'm going to carefully stand up on my plate. See if I can get to see it here. There we go. Now again,
Take my match or my lighter, and I get my parent or guardian who's going to light it on fire for me, and then we get to watch our rocket take off. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's gonna go soon. Woo! Way up. And then it slowly falls back down. Wasn't that neat? That's our tea bag rocket. And to do it, you only need those few things. You need matches or a lighter, a tea bag, and scissors to make your own rocket. And you may be wondering how that actually works. What is happening? When we light it up, we know that fire makes things warmer. So when we light the tea bag on fire, it's making the air inside the tea bag warmer. And we know that hot air rises. So it actually creates this thing called convection currents. That's a fancy long word, I know. That makes the ashes of the tea bag rise up into the air. And then we also saw that it fell back down because gravity makes things fall. So if you want to try that experiment home, make sure you gather up the supplies that you need, get your parent or guardian to help you, and if you do it, make sure you send us a photo because we would love to see your at-home science experiments.